Hello, my name is George Knott and I'm running for mayor. I was born here in Raleigh. My father was born here and his father. My family goes back 7 generations. My great-great-great-great-grandfather moved to Raleigh after he retired from being a General Assemblyman representing Nash County. My great-great-great-grandfather built the first bridge across Crabtree Creek that was navigable by a horse-drawn cart, connecting Raleigh with the Lewisburg Road. Now we know it as All Capitol Boulevard. My great-grandfather built the first tow truck in Raleigh when he worked for Yates Garage across from Moore Square. My grandfather worked 40 years as a pressman for the News and Observer. And my father retired as the head of the Department of School Planning over on Jones Street. Now, does any of that make me qualified to be mayor? Probably not. I'm just a guy who's lived here my whole life, and for the past 30 years I've walked out to the end of my driveway, gotten my copy of the News and Observer, brought it inside, read it. About 3 times a week I ball it up into a little ball and throw it into the wall. I'm so mad at what I read. Let me tell you what the problem with Raleigh is. We incentivize companies to move to our downtown with cash incentives and tax abatements. Now these companies come downtown, they rent office space, sometimes they displace Raleigh business, and they create jobs, but they're not jobs for the people of Raleigh. They import their own workforce, and this workforce wants to live downtown. So what happens is the people who have traditionally lived downtown, working people, poor people, blue-collar people, people who need to live in the city core because that's where public transportation is, that's where medical clinics are, that's where all the social services our city sets up to help people who need help are located. These people, they get displaced out into the suburbs, out into the county, because their houses get torn down, their neighborhoods get razzed, and their place go $800,000, $900,000, $1 million condominiums and high-rises. So the people who have been displaced, now living out in the county, far from where they can have access to the social services they need, maybe they're jobless because maybe these companies that have come in have displaced their jobs, are forced into a spiral of poverty and potentially homelessness. Now let's talk about homelessness. In 2017, there were 4,200 homeless people in Raleigh. In 2018, there were 5,500. Now that's an increase of 1,300 homeless people in 1 year. That's 4 citizens of Raleigh a day in 2018 were forced into homelessness. If that trend has continued, and I have no reason to believe that it has not, then we're well over 6,000 homeless people in Raleigh right now. Our county currently has a shelter down on Wilmington Street. There's a men's shelter that has 225 beds, and they're working on a women's shelter on New Bern Avenue that has 75 beds. So that's 300 beds. There's a handful of nonprofit shelters around town that the county supports, but they have 5 to 15 beds each. We're talking maximum 400 beds for homeless people in our county. 400 beds for 6,000 people. Of course, the answer to homelessness is not county beds. The answer to homelessness is getting people in safe, stable housing where they can start to put their lives back together. But we don't have any safe or stable housing for homeless people. We don't have safe or stable housing for working people. We currently have a 56,000 unit deficit of affordable housing. Every year we gain. Currently, Raleigh has a 56,000 unit deficit of affordable housing, and it's all driven by the growth downtown. Raleigh's hurtling towards end-stage capitalism. In 20 years, we're going to look just like San Francisco, with nouveau-rich tech bros and developers at the top, no middle class, and massive poverty at the bottom. There's no way around it. There's one script. There's one way this ends up. Cities all across America are following the same path. Austin, Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, Brooklyn. This problem of affordable housing and homelessness is rampant all across America, and it's consistent and it's predictable, and there's no way, as long as we continue to subsidize massive corporations, that any of this will change. Now, other candidates have plans for homelessness. They have plans for housing. They have plans to improve transportation. None of this matters. We can't get in front of the problem until we address the cause of the problem. Dealing with homelessness or housing before we deal with our culture of corporate welfare is like asking somebody to take the trash out while the house is on fire. It doesn't make any sense. We have 6 people running for mayor on October 8th. We have 6 visions and 6 directions Raleigh could go in. Whoever is elected, I have full faith that they are going to take Raleigh in the direction that they see is best for Raleigh. But we don't all agree on which direction is best for Raleigh. Here's what you have to ask yourself. Is Raleigh working for you? Is Raleigh working for everyone? Is Raleigh fair? Is Raleigh just? Is the status quo good enough? Is it okay to subsidize companies that end up destroying the lives of people who have lived here for generations? I don't think so. My name's George Knott. I'm running for mayor.